Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today, there are a lot of fearful people out there wondering what happened last night, what happened with this big $9 billion move. Does that mean something huge is about to happen with mt.gox? So today, let's talk about it. Should we be worried? Is this going to lead to massive selling? Well, let's talk about it and talk about everything else that's going on today. All right, let's do this. Welcome, guys. Good morning. It is, we're leading off the day around 68.3. So unfortunately, we did dip down a little bit. Okay, but there are some winners like Solana today is going up to 172, and ETH is still in the green at 3,900. So does this seem like this limited volatility seems like it's limited with Bitcoin only? And why is that? Well, because this broke out yesterday, and this has a lot of people fearful. mt.gox, which the biggest exchange, Bitcoin exchange, biggest exchange in period. Back in the day, in 2014, they had a major hack. Okay, they went bankrupt, but they still hold 141,000 Bitcoin, which they have to repay back people. Okay, that is quite a lot. $9 billion worth at this point in time. So yesterday, they decided to move it. They moved. First of all, think about how amazing it is to be able to move $9 billion from one wallet to another and basically pay almost no fees and not have any bank step in and say, hey, whoa, who are you transferring to? You know, we need to know who you're transferring to. And we need all their KYC information. In this case, with mt.gox, I'm sure, you know, they did provide all this, but normally speaking, like, let's say if you're, I don't know, anyone else, Sailor, if you sent $9 billion of Bitcoin to anyone else, no one would stop that. No one would intervene because that's the beauty of Bitcoin, right? Just want to quickly point that out. Anyways, so they transfer this, and the reason being they're getting ready to distribute. So they have a deadline. Finally, this has been ongoing since like 2017 or 2018. We've been talking about distribution for so long that everyone forgot about it. But now after ruling and courts and all this like delays and everything that's been ongoing, the final deadline is October this year. No more pushing it back, no more whatever process they have to go through. So they have to distribute this 141,000 to all the people that are owed, right? It's not as lucrative as people may think, because back in the day, people had a whole lot more Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin was worth a lot less. Now they're getting a cash equivalent of how much they had, so that's why they're distributing this. And some people are taking just Bitcoin equivalency, and then some are taking cash equivalency, but people are not getting the number of Bitcoin they had back, okay, which really sucks, because there were a lot of people that probably had thousands of Bitcoins on mt.gox back in the day, but now they're getting what that was worth back in that day in equivalency of cash or Bitcoin today, if that makes sense. So it's a lot less. So a lot of people are getting screwed. But nevertheless, it's a big number. So people are anticipating that there may be a massive sell-off coming soon. Well, the ex-CEO of mt.gox, Mark Capellas, tweeted this out early this morning and says, as far as I know, everything is fine. The trustee is moving the coins to a different wallet in preparation of distribution that will likely happen this year. There's no imminent sale of Bitcoin happening. See, like, we all love to hear that. But here's the thing. Mark Capellas has no clue of what's going on at this point. He is not associated with mt.gox at all. It would be the same as asking SBF, who's sitting in jail right now, what's going on with FTX is distribution going to happen? Like, he has no clue. He's out of the company. The same thing with Mark Capellas, because he's the one that allowed the hack to happen. And he was also the one that was so incompetent that they had no security protocol. They had no auditing. Hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin were like found after the fact. He had no clue about it. He was the very first SBF before SBF. Yeah, that's how bad it was. So I don't know. People are, looking at this like, okay, yeah, we should trust Mark. He knows what he's talking about. No, he doesn't. He has no clue what's going on at Mt. Gox. He hasn't been associated with Mt. Gox for like 10 years. But with that said, so who does? Who has inside information? Well, I mean, let's just put two and two together. Okay, first of all, Bitcoin did dip, right? And we have dipped to now a level that we haven't seen since Friday. So that sounds pretty scary, right? So no, I mean, the point of this is, okay, we were just at this level. Yes, we lost the momentum we had leading up to yesterday. We pushed above $70,000, right? And what we had over the weekend. So we have fallen back down, right? But that does not mean the run is over, okay? Long-term holders and institutions are still buying and holding. So even though $9 billion worth of Bitcoin seems like a lot, it does not mean that every single person that will be receiving their Bitcoin will be selling. Because obviously those people are Bitcoiners. They believe in Bitcoin and they've been holding for 10 years. Why not hold another year to see what happens at the end of this cycle? They know. I'm assuming they know. I'm assuming most people that are waiting to be distributed know that we're in the parabolic bull cycle of this stage, right? So you put two and two together, there's no reason to think the vast majority of people that will be receiving their Bitcoin finally will be just dumping it. In fact, I argue most of them will just continue to hodl. Because again, what's another year after waiting 10 years? And whatever they're getting is just the cash, whatever the cash equivalent of what they had in Bitcoin or in cash. And that could just be very little versus the number of Bitcoin they actually had before. So there's really no reason to think that we will get massive $9 billion dumping on Coinbase and drop Bitcoin to like whatever level people think it's going to go to, right? There's no reason to think that. In fact, if you look at, like I said, long-term holders, inactive supply longer than 1 year, we're at like 13 million. 13 million out of 19 million. If you look at supply last active for 2 years, okay, it's around 10. So basically 50%, more than 50% of Bitcoin has not moved in 2 years. 2 years. And close to 50% for 3 years. And if you're looking at 1 year, you're talking about like 70%. Long-term holders do not care. They will not go away. And that number only increasing right now. Look at it. It's hard to see, but look at the green figure. Inactive supply for more than 3 years. Look at how that's actually skyrocketing right now. 2 year and 1 year dipped a little bit, but you can see how it's going back up. But inactive supply for more than 3 years is close to 50% already, above 40-something%. So long-term holders are not going to go away, right? This is ultimately the reason why Bitcoin will continue to go higher, because the supply is limited and it's only getting more scarce. Long-term holders are buying more, and now you got institutions coming in, right? You put two and two together, that is what is going to drive Bitcoin higher. Okay, the supply shock I've been talking about, it's real. It's real. Otherwise, we wouldn't be at where we are right now, right? Otherwise, we'll still be at 15,000 and 16,000 and 20,000, which we were at for majority of the time in 2023. Again, when in doubt, zoom out and realize how far we have come within a very short amount of time. Really, we didn't even start moving or recovering until September of 2023, which wasn't that long ago. If you're looking at the funding rates for Bitcoin right now, this is pretty darn healthy. Shows that it's not too overloaded with shorts or longs right now. This is pretty good. And of course, what's even better is, again, the supply shock. I don't have ETF figures today, okay, because the market was closed yesterday, so we don't have anything to show. But we know that the ETFs are still onboarding. They hold more than 1 million Bitcoin already, right? And if you're looking at the charts, we are mimicking, okay, what has happened before, specifically the 2017 cycle. The 2017 cycle and now, almost mirror images. We're moving almost exactly the same way. Now, the 2021 cycle is different because we had that COVID pandemic crash and all the money printing and everything. That was a little bit different. But if you're looking at how we're moving now, is basically a mirror image of what's happening in 2017. And what is happening? Well, we're just consolidating. We're getting ready to move. After breaking previous high in 2017, and the previous high was set back all the way in 2013 when I first got in. After Bitcoin broke through, it consolidated, it took a dip, and then it never stopped, and then just topped out in 20,000. It's kind of the same thing. We broke through the previous high many, many times already, okay? Let's not forget. We broke all-time high many times already, and we formed new highs already. So it's not like we're talking about this is theoretical. Oh yeah, we're going to break our previous high eventually. No, we have done it already. We've done it back 2 months ago in March. And we have broken through 70,000 multiple times, including just yesterday. We were above 70,000 yesterday. So at this point in time, no one could really be bearish. If you're bearish, it's just, you got to change your mentality somehow. Just know that we're in a really good spot. We've been consolidating for a couple of months, and we can continue to consolidate for a few more. We could be consolidating and going sideways all the way until September this year and still be in line with what has happened before. And we know what can happen with Bitcoin when it starts moving. When it starts moving really, 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 really quickly. Okay? That's how it always works. And again, where will Bitcoin end by the end of this cycle? No one knows. We could speculate. We could say 200,000, or we could say, according to this, 500,000. I mean, somewhere in between there, right? Somewhere up there well into the six-figure range. That is around the corner. And I think a lot of people still don't believe that. Think that they're looking at what's happened now and say, well, Bitcoin can't even break through 73,000. It's been 3 months, right? Chill, first of all. Chill. And know that we have gone through this so many times before. It's going to happen again. History doesn't repeat. It tends to rhyme. So going back to, what about mt.gox? What about that $9 billion? Will it be dumped? Worst case scenario, let's just pretend $9 billion of Bitcoin is dumped on Coinbase simultaneously. Worst case scenario, let's just say that happens. Will Bitcoin go down? Yes. But then will it recover? Yes. Very quickly? Yes. And that's the worst case scenario, okay? Because the ETFs alone already accumulate more than what mt.gox would be selling within a matter of a few months, okay? And that's just the ETFs. So that's worst case scenario. Best case scenario, most hold it, some sell. We're not going to see much disruption, and we're going to just move past it. That's really what it comes down to. All right, what else is going on? Let's see. Well, here's another Bitcoin chart. Again, where is Bitcoin going to go? I don't know. 200,000, 300,000, 500,000. But again, like I said, Bitcoin has been moving according to previous cycles, right? More specifically, the 2017 cycle. But if you look at every single cycle, every single one, we have the crypto winter phase, then we have the parabolic stage. And during parabolic stages, there are dips. Even though you see the pretty greens, there are major dips in those green portions, okay? It's not like it's all green. It's not like every single month you're getting positive movement. There are many, many months during those years where you have nasty falls. But again, when in doubt and you zoom out, you don't really notice that. You just think, okay, we have some red and then it's all green. No, even in the greens, there are reds. That's how it works. But again, just stay patient, be vigilant, and continue to hodl. That's really it. All right, that's it for Bitcoin. What else is there? Let's see. I saw this article, Memecoins still dominate the crypto open interest chart, 4 out of 10 spots. There are a lot of memes that are still going crazy right now. Pepe went crazy. Bonk is starting to go crazy. Whiff had a really good day. And then you still have Doge and Sheeb that are starting to wake up, surprisingly. Bonk also has flipped optimism. We know that Pepe recently flipped Matic. And I don't know what Whiff flipped. But, man, memes are still really, really strong. Very volatile. But they just seem to be gaining more and more momentum. And they have bigger market cap than a lot of L1s and L2s now. I mean, optimism is a big L2. In fact, I think the second biggest or third biggest according to TVL. And you have a meme like Bonk that is worth more. Think about that. And then, of course, you have a lot of chains like Phantom that are now embracing memes. Look at this. Meme season competition up to 10 million SFTMX in prize. I'm not even sure what that is. Some kind of synthetic phantom, but then there's an X after. I don't know what that is. But you got chains like Phantom now, and got Avalanche. You got many others in base that are embracing memes because they do know what's happening with them. And then lastly, I touched upon this. Notcoin, which is part of Ton, they just broke $1 billion in market cap. I mean, I just looked at them yesterday. It was at 700, 800 million. Okay, they came down a little bit, 900 million, but still, just like a silly game, a silly clicking game with the reward system is now blowing up and bringing like 30 million users to Ton, which is crazy if you think about it. And then lastly, for Solana, I saw the validator vote to allocate 100% priority fees to validators. Before, it was like 50% burn, 50% to validators. And now 100% of the priority fees is going to validators. So it makes the validators more happy. I guess more people more inclined to be a validator. All right. That is pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. All right. Let's see. Let's see what I missed. Happy Tuesday, Simon. Double across says big dump 67K. We're 67.8. Is it a really big dump considering we were at this level like 3 days ago or 2 days ago? So I think we got to put things in perspective here. Star Child says, just hold and walk away. Enjoy the summer. That sounds good. I wish I could do that. Have you looked into Caracoin by My Pet Hooligan? No. No, I have not. Creepy Sheepy, will you reconsider retirement plans? Retirement scenario keeps me busy every day. I don't know why you care so much about my retirement, man. It's going to happen. I'm not going to do this forever. I'm not going to be like streaming until I'm like 50s or 60s. That's just ridiculous. No, it's going to happen. But I'll still probably produce videos, but I'm not going to be doing daily videos like this and killing myself twice a day for years. So after 2025, we'll see. Do you see any memes flipping Doge this bull run? I don't know. That's hard because Doge will go up too. I think Doge will still go back up to their previous high, like 70 cents, right? If they do that, I don't know if any meme could catch up this cycle. Maybe the only one is Sheeb and maybe Pepe, because Pepe is pretty large at 7 billion, but it would have to be a scenario where they stop moving and then only the other memes moved. I don't think it's going to happen. They might get close, but I don't think it's going to happen. Do I still have cock in you? Yes. Still holding. Whiff is going to flip Doge. I don't think so. That's too hard. That's too big of a gap to make up. Thoughts on Speedy? Speedy on Phantom? Well, it's a project. It's definitely a meme coin on Phantom. Haven't seen or heard much about it. Look at that. That's Karate Combat right there. IFC 2 is happening. Oh, shoot. It just disappeared. I don't think Speedy has done anything, really. Oh, it's up 40% today. Okay. It's up 40% today, but still relatively small. 5 million market cap. I do hold some Speedy, but as you can see, has done pretty much nothing. I'm hoping that changes since, you know, I just talked about this meme season for Phantom. Maybe they will get some momentum. Is Pepe coin a real deal? Thoughts? Yeah, it's at 7 billion, so yeah, I'd say it's a real deal. Cock versus Turbo in Karate Combat. If you could get someone from the Turbo team, I will set that up. Unfortunately, Cock won't be fighting this next IFC because their opponent Snack had to pull out because they couldn't get medicals done in time. But I'd love to see the Cock team fight in July. That's the next IFC fight. And I'd love to pit them against some other major meme project. So if you guys know anyone from Whiff or Turbo or Bonk, I'd love to get them involved. Skipping Stones, appreciate that. Daryl. Oh, Daryl, I can't stand the Celtics. But they will be in the finals. No way they're losing the Pacers. And I'm really disappointed with Timberwolves, man. They're not giving Mavs any challenge. It's going to be Mavs versus Celtics. I don't know who's going to win. I really don't want Celtics to win, but they should because they have a lot more to work with. Their team is so fully stacked. But I think I'd rather see Mavs win. Because I think Luka deserves it. World of Elliott. No, Pepe coin is different than Pepe. Then it's not the real deal. Just stick with Pepe. Celtics already won? Oh, man. I don't pay attention. Just like when the Knicks were knocked out, I had no clue because I don't pay attention to the East. But yeah, no surprise. Pacers should not have been up there. I don't even know how they were in the conference finals. It should have been Celtics versus Lakers. That would have been perfect. Stupid Nuggets. Al Horford deserves it way more than Luka. I don't know what you're talking about. No way. He's a good player, a good role player. It's like what Charles Barkley says. There are some that are bus drivers and some that are bus riders. Okay? Bus riders that get rings doesn't mean a whole lot. The bus drivers are the ones that deserve, that gets their team to the championships and win, and they deserve all the recognition. And that would be someone like Luka. I mean, but he's still very young. I mean, he's very young, but his playoff performances have been absolutely staggering. Luka is so weird. It's like he should not be doing that well, but he could position his body. He could switch from one side to another so easily. His weight also helps him because he could push people around, and he could shoot and make the good plays. But like, if you look at Luka compared to an NBA player, he's kind of like chubby, right? He's not fat in real life, for sure. Being 6'7", 240 or whatever, I think he's fine. But like compared to other guards, he's kind of chubby, but he uses that weight very well. He just pushes people aside. He's like as heavy as LeBron. But I just think like if he dropped like 20 pounds, he would be that much quicker. But I think he knows he needs that weight, you know, because he takes a beating too every time he drives in. I don't think Kyrie deserves to win. He finally calmed down. He finally doesn't want to be 1A. He finally settled being 1B to Luka. I mean, his problem always was after he left LeBron, he wanted to be 1A, and he was a disaster. He was a cancer to all the teams he was on. And finally, now that he's older and more mature and he wants to win another chip, I think he finally settled in the role, okay, I could be a 1B and still be effective and do well, and that's exactly what's happening. Only post the best. Luca coin sounds like a good meme. It actually does sound like a good meme. Luca in you or something. That actually could. Kyrie has always been good, but look at what happened when he went to the Celtics. He destroyed them, he destroyed that team. And everywhere else he went, he basically destroyed. Like, he has been a cancer ever since he left the Cavs. Okay, but now finally with the Mavs, he realized he can't be a 1A. Luka's too good. He's a 1B. That's why he finally settled down and he realized, I'm not going to be a 1A anymore. I'll be a 1B, and that's fine. And they are doing well. But if he had the same mentality as before, where he had to be 1A, the Mavs would be an absolute disaster right now. Lawrence, what do you think about a presidential election? Biden on Sol looks very bullish lately. Can you share your thoughts? A lot of political coins are doing very well. Trump is doing well. Biden is doing well. Biden is doing well. MAGA is doing well. A lot of these are doing well. But again, momentum shifts all the time. I don't know. Like, Lawrence, just be careful with these memes. Sometimes they do very, very, very well, and then boom, they just drop down because people lose interest and go to like a new meme, right? So just be careful and take profits when you can. Bad take. Kyrie has always been dominant. Okay, if he's so dominant, where's his rings? Has he won any rings after leaving LeBron? If he's that dominant and that good, how come he didn't win any rings in any of the other teams he's been on? What meme coin under 10 million market cap is the best chance to become a blue chip? Well, you already answered your own question, so I'll just leave it at that. In case anyone is panicking right now, this is where we were on Friday. So we have dropped to a level that we haven't seen since last Friday. So in case people are panicking at this point, just know that that's where we are right now. Are you upset Mavs are winning? A little bit. I actually think it would be fun to watch the Timberwolves in the finals, but they're just not there yet. Not enough experience. And Luka's just too good. He's just too good. They can't do anything to stop him. Like, Edwards is just a little bit too small. Luka's too big. That's honestly, and he knows how to use his body so well. He moves at a really slow pace like Jokic, but he just knows how to get to his spots, and no one could stop him. And he's been very clutch recently too. If somehow, this would be the NBA's worst nightmare, if somehow the Mavs or the Nuggets ever got Luka and Jokic playing on the same team, they would win like 10 chips. that would be the NBA's worst nightmare if those two actually got together and played together. Jay Jan says, starting to look like price manipulation a bit. Prices should be vaulting over 70K today if all the buying by the ETFs is real. Well, the thing is, it is real. Of course, like, you can't fudge the numbers. The reported numbers by the ETFs are 100% real. It's just that, hey, when people are fearful, right? Like, there are some people that are fearful that Mt.gox is going to dump $9 billion to the Bitcoin. Well, they're not going to dump it. They're going to distribute it. And are the people they're distributing it to, are they all going to dump? The answer is no. Some may, but most, I believe, won't. And even, for example, let's say they all dump. Let's say 9 billion was dumped simultaneously on Coinbase at once. Where will that drop Bitcoin to? Maybe it drops us back to the 50s. Maybe it drops us back to 56K. Let's say $9 billion drops us to 56K, right? Well, is that like a level that we haven't seen for a long time? It would probably surprise you guys to know that we were there at the beginning of May. So yeah, we were in the 50s, mid 50s, beginning of May. So even if that happened, okay, it happens. We will recover, just like we recovered here, and then we went back up to 72,000. We were just at 72,000 last week. Okay, so things move really quickly. And overall, what we're seeing is just a consolidation period. We're just going sideways right now. Since the beginning of, no, end of February till now, we're just going sideways. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We already shattered our 2021 high many, many, many times. Beanstalk. Dan Marino has 0 rings, and some say he was the best. Those that are delusional. At some point, you have to put rings, and you have to count them, okay? In order to be in the GOAT category, you have to have some chips. You have to have some rings. Otherwise, it's really, really, really hard to be in the GOAT conversation. Luka will go down as a top 10 player of all time. Will win at least 3. If he wants to be a top 10 player, he has to win at least like 5. Because almost everyone in top 10 has won. I take that back. 3. At least 3 or more. 5 is tough. Not that many players has won 5 plus. Trent Brock, you're welcome. How easy is a 10x altcoin portfolio from here? I'd say it's still pretty easy. I think if you look at most of the crypto out there, they're still way off from the all-time high. I mean, even in the top 10, okay, Solana is still 35% off. That's tremendous. Even Ethereum is 21% off. But outside the top 10, look at it. Cardano's 85% off still. Okay. Avalanche, 75%. Chainlink, 66% off. I mean, a lot of these, a lot of alts are still way. ICP is still 98% down. That's how overhyped they were before. 98% down. That's crazy. That is absolute insanity, actually. Filecoin, 98% down. So my point is, it's still very early in the cycle. Very, very early. And we could definitely see a lot more gains. Okay. We're nowhere near the end. The parabolic phase has just started, and we will see a lot more gains. All right, guys. So to conclude, should we be worried about mt.gox? Well, they did move $9 billion worth. That doesn't mean they moved it to Coinbase. It doesn't mean that they go sell it. They're getting ready to distribute it. Okay, between now and October, they will distribute it. So even though, yes, this is causing a little bit of FUD of whatever proportions today, just know that, hey, FUD happens. Okay, happens all the time. Bitcoin goes down all the time. But just remember where we are now, where it will be in the future, and you'll get through this just fine. All right, guys, smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I don't know about tonight. I'll be traveling, so I don't know about the rest of this week, how my schedule will be. I'll definitely put out videos, but I don't think I'll be able to live stream at all. Maybe once in a while, but maybe not. So have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.